I will get you every last copper. With interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay...
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula's got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
Mine. Offered her a better rate.
All right. So, let's see if you're a good bargain or just cheap shit.
Which will burn you!
Together, mates!
Covered in blood, all of it. So much work for naught.
No need to thank me. It was nothing.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but everything I had, I just lost.
Relax. It'll come out in the wash.
Of course it will. Just gotta soak it in white vinegar, but that's not my point. Junior shan't forgive me. Either I'll close up shop myself or he'll burn me down.
Sorry. Didn't think about that.
A woman's lot. Men have their fun and we're stuck with a mess. Oh well, I suppose I must move to Oxenfurt. Professors need clean undergarments too.
Don't know if you remember. We've met.
I don't... Wait, I know you. You're that witcher I near clobbered with a vase when... Well...
When you kicked Dandelion out. Through the balcony. Actually, he's the reason I'm here. Know where he is?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elihal.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elihal?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elihal was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elihal.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
I know this is none of my business, but why do you...
Why do I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested. What did you and Dandelion talk about? He ask about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid, sucks flaccid cock.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Marabella.
I am she. Wait outside. Class is in session.
I'll wait.
It won't take long. It turns out he'll not come after all.
In the circus.
Why
Because
not?
he can swallow
A
salt.
rat bit
Can
him,
you?
and he's caught a fever.
Where'd he get bit?
It hurt him much.
Will he die?
Don't die from rats, stupid.
Yes, you do. Just the other day I saw a witch hunter tell a man,
Got a
you
hamster
rat,
under me
and then he
bed.
killed him. Will you help?
Liar. That's enough. We're done for the day. Gather your things and go home.
Wonder if the rat catcher will get well.
Like as not.
How do you know?
Mum
Don't
says
step
that
on
if
me.
he
But Daddy's a witch hunter. And she's good.
Now can we talk?
Yes. What do you want?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh, yes. Longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems.
No. We perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
Found a poem Dandelion wrote about you. Portrayed you as an unusually talented individual.
Really? Did he mention my poetry? Horses have always fascinated me. I've always longed to extol their noble beauty. Did you see any of my work at Dandelions? Mere exercises, true, but I'd be curious to know what you thought of them.
No. Didn't see any.
Gee up! A snakely whip rose skyward. Jee-haw! Crack! She reined the beast in. The stallion danced betwixt her thighs. Lather bathed its chinny chin.
Sorry, don't know much about poetry. See Dandelion after the fungus incident?
No. I even considered granting him another chance. His heart of hearts is pure gold. He simply needs a bit more discipline in his life. But he never came back to see me. So I thought if it's done, it's done.
Thanks for your help. Farewell.
You're grey like my grandmum.
What do you think? Know who started this war? It's everywhere else. See it all around.
Not your lucky day.
I'm gonna kill you! Fire protects us, gives monsters.
This Baronet's La Valette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Geralt of Rivia at my doorstep? Surely this is no chance encounter?
Greetings, Baroness. Greetings, General. You're right. I'm here for a reason.
There's no mistaking you. But for etiquette's sake, Mary Louisa La Valette, an Imperial General and a Witcher meet. And know each other. Surprising.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to, talk when the Emperor summoned me to Vizima.
Had you run afoul of Var Emrys? No. You'd be long dead if that were so. It seems, then, that you share some interests. But I shan't question you out of doors. Will you accept my invitation? Tell me what brings you here.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
My maidservant. I'm afraid she's currently at the home of my dear friend Patricia Vegelbud.
Perhaps Geralt could accompany us. He could speak with Molly at the races.
Is that something you'd consider, Witcher? Care to partake of some sophisticated diversion?
Well, if Molly will be there.
On our way, then. We've arrived.
My father owned a similar estate in Bruges. As a young girl, I'd travel there often to ride.
Shall we look at the horses? Do you like horses, Geralt?
I guess so. Called every horse I've had Roach.
The grey mare is Cantarella, sired by Kahir, the champion from Gaul.
Grey's a nice color. For horses, too.
My coin's on the black stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General. Is Molly a horse?
Pardon?
I did come here to see Molly, after all.
Patience, Witcher. She ought to arrive soon. I asked Molly to join us as soon as she was done with her chores. She shouldn't be long now.
All depends what you asked her to do, milady. But I don't really have a choice. I'll wait. Know anything about the chestnut or the bay?
The chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Britannian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Seem to know your horses.
No is not the word. Morvran's a true expert.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle, made of beautifully tanned leather.
Why not? Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Well said. So, which steed do you choose, Witcher?
Heard tales of Zerrikanian horses. I'll ride the bay.
I'll not ride with you, but I shall bet on a steed. Nemrod will win, no matter the rider.
Cantarella for me, then. I see no point in delaying this. Let's begin.
Riders, ready?
Hiya! Let's see what you're made of.
Come on.
Don't spare the horse! Come on, Witcher! Let's see what you're made of! Don't spare the horse! Come on, Witcher! Let's see what you're...
What a thrill! A beautiful victory!
Thanks.
For one for whom every horse is a roach, you carry yourself exquisitely in the saddle. My congratulations. That is yours.
Now, could I talk to your chambermaid, milady?
Ah, yes, Molly. That is why you came here after all. The portly young woman. That's her.
Speak to her. And you must find us when you're ready to return to Novigrad. We'd be delighted to join you for the journey.
Youth these days. Hair-brained, all of them.
I'm Molly, my lord. Wish to see me?
Call me Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelion's rescued time and time again!
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be here if not for Dandelion.
Told me all about your adventures. How he'd ready you for battle with his songs. How he tamed the Karen by playing his lute.
I meant that literally. Dandelion's why I'm here. Came to ask you about him. Know where he might be?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. The Baroness don't approve of our acquaintance. Says Dandelion's a good-for-nothing layabout. Can you imagine? But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister?
Sure he does. Saw him himself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Mm-hmm. Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
Know where I can find her, Dandelion's sister?
I know. Whenever I ask Dandelion when we visit her, he'd grow all quiet and then change the subject.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Of course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias. But I've not seen him since.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait, before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks, and good luck to you on your search.
Nothing hurts as much as life.
Ah, Geralt, there you are. Shall we return together?
Gladly. It's a long way to Novigrad. Road ought to seem shorter with some company.
I'd say the same. Well then, let's go. And here we are. Thank you for your company.
Likewise. See ya.
This morning, my Twitter came back from the market with news. Some mysterious murders happening in some house.
Your Greta's got the imagination of a drunk troubadour. She never lies about serious matters.
I'll have it for the story.
You also told me to come next.
All the way to the garden.
Did you catch him?
No. Driving in Sinmian.
Power of this flame.
Scrambled out the hole in the back wall.
Remember, sounds like you might have been an acrobat.
Right now, so both of Mrs. Fond of me.
Ears on, and you could have it to your eyes peeled. Grant us
Even this never sleeps. Let us say...
What do you want?
Want to see Rosa Attre?
Oh, mate, if you only knew what I want. Miss Rosa don't see just anybody.
I'm Geralt of Rivia, a witcher.
Soon as Miss Rosa turns into a striker, I'm sure her papa will send for you. But she's not showing any symptoms yet, so I venture you're not needed. On your way now.
You ought to shave. Get a haircut.
What grace, what style.
Fancy men like me, whole town's going on about it. So no point playing hard to get, sugar puss.
It's Lady Attre to you. And I'd advise you to sod off, sugar puss, before I report this to Papa. Who are you? Why are you here? Answer this instant or I'll summon the guards.
Sorry to sneak in, miss. I'm Geralt, a friend of the bard Dandelion.
Geralt of Rivia? The famed witcher of the ballads?
What are you doing here, vagrant? How'd you get in? I let no one in the front, my lady. I swear it on the great sun.
Not a word. I'll handle this. Hold your tongue, sir. This is Frederick Francis de Bergerac, my new swordplay instructor, correct? Show him to the training room. I shall join him shortly.
But my lady's a witcher. Said so himself back by the gates.
Captain, do you truly believe Rosa Attre would train with random clods calling themselves swordmasters? No. The Attres demand the very best. Thus, we've hired a witcher. Take him to the training room, now.
As you say, miss. Won't you realise what you've got yourself into?
Hope so too.
Miss Rosa's got a downright beastly temper. Shows no mercy once she grips a sword. Grab a wooden one. Take care not to hurt the little miss. You'll learn the ambassador's style. Follow me.
You're my new instructor. Well, Papa clearly went out of his way this time. Wood, to start with. I must know your worth. Well fought. You're much better than the last one.
I'm not actually your swordplay instructor.
Really? Then who are you? And how on earth did you get in?
Am I imagining things? Didn't we just have this conversation in the garden?
The garden? Yes, yes. In the garden. So, what was it you said? Why are you here?
Before I ask, gotta admit, you do pretty well with a sword. One pointer. Don't expose your left flank when you dodge.
Oh, I know. Terrible habit. Can't seem to get rid of it. I'd hoped to find someone in Novigrad who could help me to do so. But don't you dare try to dazzle me with advice. Already admitted you're not here to give me lessons.
Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us. I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship?
If you call him chasing after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch. Why bother with two? Damn it! Well, if you're not an instructor, you should certainly be one. Fancy giving me a few private lessons?
Can't rightly refuse a request from a lady.
What are you two lovebirds whispering about? You asked about my relationship with Dandelion? Well, here's the mix-up's mastermind. Edna var Attre, the greatest mischief maker north or south of the Yaruga.
Hang on. So it was you in the garden?
Of course it was me. Why, did Rosa try to play you for a fool? Don't be mad. We've done this since we were children. People have always mistaken us for one another.
Can someone please explain what this is all about? Which of you met with Dandelion?
No need to get angry, instructor. I'll explain. Edna sent Dandelion some love letters. She signed my name. Conceited as he is, naturally he fell for it. I was left to repel the aging bard's advances. Rosa, I had the best of intentions, you know that. I felt you needed help taking the first step. You blushed every time he sang a ballad. He'll next sing at your funeral if you don't stop it right now.
Calm down, ladies. No poet's worth two sisters nipping at each other's throats.
Especially not this one.
Listen, I just want to know one thing. Either of you seen Dandelion lately?
Edna might have. I certainly have not. My dear sister, I would never spend time alone with a man for whom you burn with a secret passion. Burn with passion? For one who incessantly praises another woman's talents? Afraid I've more sense than that.
Bet sophisticated young ladies like you know a bunch about politics.
We've picked up a few things. What would you like to know?
Emperor continuing to push north. Courtiers must be ecstatic.
His confidants must be. But Papa says that's not likely to last much longer.
Why not?
Papa says the war's disrupting trade, and people are tired of financing the Emperor's adventures.
Wonder how the war's going. Any outcome looming?
Papa says much depends on Radovid, and on who captures Novigrad first.
What's Novigrad got to do with it? Free city. Never taken sides. always stayed out of conflicts.
Oh, even children know Novigrad's home to the world's largest fleet. And they say the city's treasury is bursting with enough to equip 2 armies.
Changing subjects. Dandelion act any different lately? Notice anything strange?
Strange? Not really. It's no use, Geralt. She's so enamored she'd hardly notice if he turned into a werewolf. Edna, what? You needn't pretend he followed convention. Remember when he took us to the cemetery?
Rhetoric lessons in a cemetery. Unusual even for Dandelion.
We set out to visit the graves of celebrated Oxenford professors. He ended up quizzing us about Margrave Henkel.
Who?
Eccentric old coot. Died recently. He'd apparently been an important and generous patron of the arts as a young man.
Who'd Dandelion sing about? Know anything about her?
I believe she's a poetess, or trebaritz. Very skilled and exceptionally talented, of course.
This woman. Not a local, right?
I seem to remember him praising her melodious Kaviri accent. Makes sense. He referred to her as Calonetta a few times. Bizarre names are common in Kavir.
Gotta ask Zoltan about this Calonetta. Been a pleasure, but I've got stuff to take care of.
Exceedingly nice to meet you. Please come again. Well, can I expect any more lessons in future?
Sorry, Rosa. Afraid I can't at the moment.
Farewell, then. Oh, payment for your time.
Like my grandma. Because he can swallow swords. Save me!
Your hair so the word scum flows into Novigrad. Sorceresses, their deport from... Ah, here
what a bloody day.
A witcher. Look! The corpse-like visage, the beastly eyes. This is magic that's made a mongrel of a man. What's more, the horse sons steal youngins. Yes!
Got the courage to repeat that slander to my face?
Readily. You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
How many people's lives have you saved? From Bruxay, from Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Asked you a question. How many? There's something to think about, folks.
Preacher's fierce in the mouth. Put holler at him and his tail slicks between his legs. Come on, people.
Why don't you all just get off my back?
You've mistaken me for someone else.
You're the only one here who's made a mistake. Now step up some...
Leave him alone.
And who might you be? Temple guard undercover?
Call me an admirer of law and order.
Made a mistake coming to this town, then.
You're making the mistake. Leave him alone.
And if we don't?
If you don't, I'll have to kick your faces in.
Cheer that, lads. Stop walking into his soul!
Not too late to surrender.
No! Mutant dies now!
Go home, merchant, and try not to come round here anymore.
I will. I mean, I won't. I mean, both, yes. Thank you, sir. I'm knackered.
What village are you from?
Willows. There's a tin idiot who goes right.
I've been cranky since
How are
morning.
you keeping, Bobby? Miss your Zoltan, you old bum? What's this? Ah, you're back! You met Poppy? She want to start talking any day now.
Zoltan, venture to say a mage would have trouble turning that owl into a parrot.
Sure you know me that well. Mark my words, she'll be playing Gwent with us in no time. But we were to talk about Dandelion. So, how'd you do? Learn much?
Tell me what you've got first.
A few bruises and a torn doublet. Otherwise, no much a note. He wasn't staying with any of them. I've not seen hiding or hair of him in ages. All I learned was a few of Dandelion's pickup lines. Dubious worth.
Think I might have something better.
What are you waiting for? Let's have at it.
Women on my list hadn't seen Dandelion in a while. All claimed he had been acting strange. Also mentioned he'd been seeing someone else. Thing is, Mystery Woman wasn't on my list.
What's she supposedly like, this lass?
Blonde, from Kovir. A Troberitz, apparently, named Kalanetta or something like that.
That makes it clear as crystal. It's Priscilla. Aye. Must be her.
Why wasn't she on the list?
This Priscilla wasn't like the others. I think Dandelion more than fancied her. I think it was fervour.
He lusts after every other woman he meets.
How can I explain? Who does Dandelion love most?
Himself.
Exactly. And she's his mirror image.
What can I say? Could be he finally met his match.
She's his match, all right. Maybe more. Laddie's head's on fire. Lassie's got him whirling.
All right. Guess we gotta talk to her.
Priscilla works for the Mummers troupe. Reynard and the Foxen. Whenever they're in town, she performs nightly at the Kingfisher.
Mean we've been sentenced to an evening of poetry?
Must you always? This'll be true poetry, Geralt. You'll see.
I've buried my old family. Black One's killed me son.